Good evening, graduates, family, guests, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Convocation at the University of Waterloo. My name is Paradin, Hamdullah, and I have the honor of serving as President and Vice-Chancellor of this great university. It's my privilege to welcome you all to campus for this momentous occasion to celebrate the accomplishments of our soon-to-be graduates. Not quite yet, a few more steps, right? However, before we start this exciting celebration and tradition, it is important to reflect, acknowledge, and pay respect to the elders, past and present, of the neutral Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee peoples. We are gathered today on their traditional territory as the University of Waterloo sits on the Haldeman Tract, the land promised to the Six Nations people along the Grand River. Would you please rise while I invite Michael Klein to sing our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you, Michael. Please be seated. Now it's my honor to invite our Chancellor, Mr. Dominic Barton, to the podium.
Well, good evening. And I want to say a formal welcome to all of our graduands, but also to the parents, relatives, and friends of the graduands who are here. Mr. President, the Provost, and also to the faculty who are here. What I would like to do over the next few minutes, if I might, is cover three areas. One, I want to spend a little bit of time starting the congratulations for our graduands. Second, to talk a little bit about leadership and the context in which you are all going to be leading in the world, just some thoughts. And then third, some of the mechanics of the convocation as we go through it. So let me start with the most important thing, which is to say, one of many times this evening, congratulations to all of you, the graduands, for an amazing milestone that you have hit. If we could all congratulate our graduands, it would be great. I think we also should thank all of the parents, friends, relatives who have supported you, not only through these past several years, but in the previous years, for you to be able to even be here. So if we could also acknowledge them and everything that they've done, it would be fantastic. Now, just a few words on leadership, because I think the University of Waterloo is a leadership factory. You lead on many, many dimensions. And I think it's worth just thinking about the context of the world in which you are going to be leading all of us over the next 20 to 30 years. And from a personal point of view, I think that you are going to be leading in literally one of the most exciting times in human history, at least a 500-year time frame. I think it'll be one of the most important times. We have so many changes underway happening at the same time. We have the early stages of a significant technology revolution, of which you are very well aware and are part of in many respects. We have not seen the change that technology is affecting all the sectors and industries and organizations like this at this scale, I think, ever. And it's something that is going to require, I think, a fundamentally different way for all organizations and people to think, lead, reskill as we go through time. The second force, which is also happening at the same time, is this economic power shift that's going on from the west to the east. For the last 250 years, economic power has been in the west writ large. It's going back to the east, to Asia and to Africa, and that's happening in your lifetime. And so the need to be connected and linked and participate in that part of the world is going to be critical. And I'm very excited to see the diversity of leadership that we have in the Waterloo class, which represents not only the West, but also the East. But that's going to be a shift we're going to have to get used to very quickly to be able to prosper. The third is that we are becoming literally the most aged we've been as a human race. In the next 3 years, we're going to have more people over the age of 65 than under the age of 14. And as I get older, I like to think it's a very good thing. I think older people can contribute a lot to society. But it will mean we're going to have to challenge some orthodoxies or assumptions about work, about reskilling, about healthcare, because we simply will not be able to do it the way we have been doing it for the last 75 years. And the final change, which is also occurring with these other three, is people are very concerned with the societal deal. 500 million people in North America and in Europe have experienced flat to declining income over the last 15 years, and they're not happy about that. They don't think the system is fair. There is rising inequality of opportunity, and that is going to spell change on the policy front, and it's going to require innovation on the policy front. So you are going to be leading in what some could call quite a volatile period. I'm an optimist. I think there's a lot of opportunity in all of that chaos. And I think I can think of no better university to prepare you for that than Waterloo, given what you've learned from the faculty and the skills, but also the experiences and relationships that you've built with your fellow students. And I think I can say that with some independence because I didn't go to Waterloo. I wish I had. I wouldn't have had the marks to get into this place. But what I do know is I see Waterloo leaders around the world who are shaping and pushing the frontiers in what we do. Just last weekend, I was at an event in Montreux in Switzerland where we were talking about space. And will there be a Cold War in space? What will the geopolitics of space be? The most interesting question in the whole event was actually asked by a Waterloo graduate who'd been here 15 years ago. And her question was the following. That's all very interesting to talk about the challenges and the issues. My question for the group is, how long is it going to take us to be able to have 100,000 people living in outer space? That was her ambition. And I must say that I think most of the group wondered what mushrooms she'd been smoking or drinking or whatever you do with mushrooms. But actually, as the conference went on, people came back to that to say that's the right frame of thinking. And I think that's built in the system here in how you think, how you challenge, the breadth of what you cover. And I hope you don't ever forget that as we go through it. The only thing for someone like me to think about as I go ahead is I'm We all know about the co-op program, which I think makes this literally one of the most distinctive universities. What I'm hearing about now is the reverse co-op program, which gets me very excited, as maybe there's a chance to come back at an older age in some way. But the point I'm trying to say is that in this time of massive change, you are prepared like no other group, and I hope you will take the leadership to shape it in the way that's going to benefit all of us as we go ahead. So just on the mechanics, as we go through this next little while in the afternoon or this evening, what we're going to do is first confer an honorary degree on an individual who's made an extraordinary contribution to society in one field, and that's in accounting, but also to his community and to the university, and you'll hear more about that later. We're then going to confer bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees over the evening. We will also give an award to a faculty member who has excelled in their field, and I think one of the things I hear from students as we go across, I ask them, what did you enjoy the most, or what are you most excited about with the degree? And the most frequent answer I get is faculty that supported me. It's not just taught me, they supported me as we go through, and I think it's important to recognize faculty for outstanding service on that front. Medals will be awarded to graduating students who have excelled in their studies. So that's the plan. I hope we will start at the front and go all the way to the end. Let's spend as much attention on the very first person and group of people that come across as we spend in the last group, because it's special for everyone here. I've spent most of my career trying to help leaders in predicting the future. I've often got it wrong. My prediction for this evening is this event will take 2 hours, but we'll see whether that happens or not. But for now, I would like to invite Ken Clausen, the professor of the School of Accounting and Finance, Faculty of Arts, to the podium to take us forward. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chancellor, I present Kevin Dancy. Mr. Dancy has, throughout his career, been a leader. Within the accounting profession, he has been the National Tax Practice Leader at Coopers & Lybrand and the Canadian Senior Partner and CEO of PricewaterhouseCoopers. He has also served as a Special Advisor to the Canadian Department of Finance, Assistant Deputy Minister, Tax Policy with the Department of Finance, and on the Auditor General's panel of senior advisors. As President and CEO of the Canadian Institute of Chartered Accountants, or CICA, he oversaw Canada's move to international financial reporting standards, private sector accounting standards, and the adoption of international standards for audit and assurance. At the international level, he chaired the board of the Global Accounting Alliance, which represents 11 of the top accounting bodies in the world. As President and CEO of the CICA, Mr. Dancy was a key leader in the unification of the Canadian accounting profession, the most significant event to impact the profession in the last 50 years. This was a complex and controversial step that required the approval from 40 different accounting bodies. Mr. Dancy's courage, clarity of vision, and willingness to stay the course were essential in bringing the Canadian accounting profession to where it is today, one of the largest accounting bodies in the world with more than 200,000 members. With unification, Mr. Dancy emerged as the first president and CEO of the newly formed Chartered Professional Accountants of Canada. He has since gone on to become the CEO of the International Federation of Accountants and was recently appointed to the Order of Canada. Mr. Chancellor, in recognition of his outstanding record of professional achievement, tax policy development, and service to the Canadian and global accounting profession, I request that you bestow the title Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, upon Kevin Dancy.
Thank you. I'm honored to confer upon you, Kevin Dancy, the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. I extend my sincere congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I now invite Mr. Dancy to the podium to address Convocation.
Thank you, Ken, for those kind words. Mr. Chancellor, Mr. President, Vice-Chancellor, Mr. Provost, distinguished guests, faculty and colleagues, graduates of the Faculty of Arts, friends and family. Many thanks for inviting me tonight, for honoring me tonight, and giving me the opportunity to speak to the grads. To the grads, this is your day. You have worked really hard to get to where you are. You should be extremely proud of what you have accomplished. And many people are proud of you as well. You know, friends, family, professors, many of them are in this room tonight. And they're proud of you as well. And as you go through life, they will continue to support and sustain you. When I thought about what I would say tonight, I reflected back to when I was in your shoes. I can do that, you can't. You weren't born yet. It was 1972. And when I went to school there at Mac, down the road, I was going to be a geologist. And after the first year, I took an economics course, and then I went into math and economics. And when I graduated in 1972, I joined the economics department at Mac. My first accounting course was still down the road. Now, the world I went into at that time was an interesting world. No internet, no cell phones, no email, no personal computers, not even any voicemail or faxes. So think of that world in terms of communication. When I wanted to get a hold of somebody, I called them on a landline and hoped somebody picked up the line at the other end. Or I wrote them a letter and mailed it. So throughout my career, I have obviously seen many, many changes. The pace of business has gotten a lot faster. Social media to me was when my mom told me what was on the society pages of the Globe and Mail, like I cared, right? And so the world has changed in so many different ways. And I heard a boating analogy recently. When I graduated, I was like a steamboat. And I would kind of set direction and just go and steam in that direction. And then things picked up a bit, and I was a bit more like a sailboat, you know, tacking and jibing as the winds would change. Today, it's like whitewater kayaking, right? A lot of rough water, a lot of rocks, you gotta pivot, adapt, and you can flip, but you gotta right yourself quite quickly to move forward. So the first message I guess I want to impart on you is the degree of change that you're gonna see in your career is going to be a lot more than I've seen in mine. It's going to be at a faster pace. So as the saying goes, buckle up. In terms of my career, it really wasn't a linear career. As I said, I was working in the economics department at Mac. We were married, didn't have a lot of money. Had two options. One, I had a scholarship offer to go to the UK to get my MA. But then I took a night school course in accounting. And there was this thing called CA, which I didn't know much about. But I could get a CA after my name after a couple years as opposed to MA, and the CA paid more, and that's why I became an accountant. So not a lot of in-depth thinking in terms of why I became an accountant. But it's been a great platform for me, because when you have the grounding of being an accountant and then a professional accountant, you know the language of business, and that's a distinct advantage throughout your career. And it's been a great platform for me. As Ken went through my, in like his remarks, I've had many different careers throughout my, throughout my life. I actually thought I would have stopped by now. At one point I talked about, or thought about Freedom 55. I'll be 70 on my next birthday. But you can't leave too many woulda, coulda, shouldas on the table. So throughout my career, which is almost 50 years, I've had probably about 5 or 6 different careers. I think what you will have throughout your careers and over a longer working career than I've had is a multiple of that. And as you think about planning your career and where you're going to go, it's not going to be a linear process. It's not about goal setting to get to some finish line that you cross and then you're done. Because life is continually happening around you. You continue to have to adapt. And the one message I would leave to you about planning, because I think planning can be overdone because life happens in the moment, not in the future. So what I would say about planning to you is, I always think about planning in terms of having hedges or options on the future. Like the world can unfold in various ways. You don't know how it's going to unfold, but make choices today that will make you as adaptable as possible going forward so you can succeed. Second thing I want to talk about is failure, because you are going to fail. I've failed many times in my career. And you have to learn, not to feel sorry for yourself. Don't dwell on it. These things just happen. I'll give you one anecdote from my life. I was briefing my boss on a file, and frankly, I thought I had it nailed. I had the perfect solution. And about halfway through, his fist went up in the air and slammed down on the desk. And at the moment the fist hit the desk, an expletive came out and a torrent of words as to why I was wrong. Now, I have to admit, my first reaction was, geez, that was really interesting how the fist hit the desk and the expletive and the words came out right at that moment. Like, that was really good. You must have had to work on that to actually get that right. I then had to slap myself pretty quickly because I realized I better listen up to this torrent of words because I have to figure my way out of this. And it's key when you're in that type of situation, and I've been in a number of them, is again, don't dwell on it, don't feel sorry for yourself. It's all about what the next step is going to be. It's like when you play golf. I don't really play golf, I play at golf. But as they say, the most important shot is the next one. And since the Raptors are still in it, I have to have a bit of a basketball analogy. And Michael Jordan is often quoted as saying, he missed 9,000 shots in his career. 26 times, he was given the ball at the end of the game to take the game-winning shot, and he missed them all. So he stresses that he has failed again and again in his career, but that's why he's so successful. So I just think it's important that you are going to fail at times. Guess what? We're not perfect. We're human. Be resilient, learn from it, and move forward. Next comment I wanted to make is learn to define yourself and make sure you define yourself and don't let others define yourself. Again, one from my background. When I grew up, I stuttered. And in the early days, it was like, to be, like Porky Pig. That's all, folks, right? And then it progressed, and it was blockage. It was blockage on hard consonants, like K, my name, Kevin, but I couldn't actually say my name. And when you have situations like that, whatever it is, it's very easy to let other people define who you are. But the one thing you get to decide in life is who you are. You get to decide what makes you happy. You get to decide what makes you tick. So really make sure that you never let other people define who you are, because if you can't decide who you are, if you can't lead and manage yourself, it'll be very difficult and challenging to lead others. Final point I wanted to make was about change and challenges. And embrace these as they come along. Like when I look at my career, the best thing I ever did was when I went to Ottawa and became Assistant Deputy Minister in charge of tax policy in the Department of Finance. Now at that time, I was an international tax partner. My tax knowledge was an inch wide and a mile deep. So I go and I become ADM tax policy, running the largest branch in the Department of Finance, dealing with a huge number of social policy issues. And because we run so much social policy through tax policy in Canada. And frankly, I didn't know much about any of them. And also, what did I know about briefing ministers? Not very much. So it was a very steep learning curve. But 25 years later, I'm still doing some work for finance. So the key message I think here is, and I say this to my staff all the time, Don't be scared to be scared. It's just a natural thing. And you can grow a lot by embracing change and embracing challenges. And you go through life once, you really have to enjoy it on the way through, and that's one way of doing it. You don't want regrets at the end of the day that I should have done that. So wrapping up, as I said at the outset, you should be very proud of what you have accomplished. The grounding you have received here at Waterloo will really stand you in good stead. And one final comment, if I may, and this is a hard one. It's very easy in life to be distracted by what could happen down the road or dwell on what happened yesterday. Yet life happens in the moment. So as hard as it is, try and always live in the moment and enjoy it on the way through. Because you have worked hard, you have earned the right to do that, and most importantly, you deserve it. Thank you very much, and bonne chance.
My name is James Rush, and I'm very proud to serve as the university's Vice President, Academic, and Provost. And my first duty in Convocation is to thank Dr. Dancy for his inspirational address, and particularly how evocative it was of his own personal history and how the lessons that he learned are as relevant today as they were from his retrospective on his own career. Thank you so much for sharing so much. And finally, welcome to the group of Waterloo's distinguished alumni. Would the members of the graduating class please rise? Mr. Chancellor, I present to you those scholars who have fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of the University that they may be admitted to their various and several degrees.
By the virtue of the authority vested in me and in the university, I hereby admit you to your various and several degrees, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining.
Thank you. Please be seated. It's now my pleasure to invite Jacqueline Audrey Sue to come forward and deliver the valedictory address.
So 2019 has been a pretty memorable year for all of us. For some of us, we entered the real world. For over half of us, we actually stayed back to finish our masters. 2019 was also the year that the Toronto Raptors made it to the NBA Finals for the first time. But most importantly, 2019 is a year where we get to gather together and celebrate in each other's successes. Good evening, Chancellor, members of Convocation, fellow graduates, family, and guests. I am honored to stand before you all today. After 2 decades of schooling, and at the pivot point of the beginning of the next chapter in our lifelong novel. Classmates, no longer can they say look left and right and only some of us will make it. Because today, my friends, we made it. So congratulations, class of 2019. Now, I don't know where we'll be next year because I don't have 2020 vision. But what I do know is that we're all here today and we all got here in different ways. For some of us, maybe we're the first to graduate in our family. For others, perhaps you traveled hundreds or even thousands of miles to study far away from home. Maybe you stayed in the same place your entire life. Either way, we're all here today and we all got here through our own unique challenges and journeys. So I just want to take the time to recognize the 2 programs graduating with us this evening. First off, the Computing and Financial Management program, as well as my home program of accounting and financial management. Though different in many regards, if you think about it, we actually began much of our initial journey here together. So allow me to explain this in a manner we'll all understand. A balance sheet. I'm sure you remember that concept from Accounting 101 because, of course, none of us threw away any of our first-year notes. And just a fair warning, I hope there's no accounting professors in the crowd because I'm about to violate some generally accepted accounting principles. Because if you think about it, our journey here today was a journey of finding balance. And within our own personal balance sheet, we all had what's called liabilities, which I like to rephrase and call challenges that we faced. For instance, one of the biggest challenges we faced in first year was that we were just generally clueless. Admit it, you probably overpacked for university. We had no idea what networking meant or the fact that we needed business cards. We, for some reason, believed that being first place in that Mike's Bike simulation in first year equated to future success. And for 365 days in the year, we were surprised to find out that yes, the geese were here to stay. Now, fast forward 5 years later, the geese are still here, but so are we. But the challenges that we once thought were long-term ended up being temporary. The narrative changed. We got a taste of what life was like outside of school through co-op. We experienced being grilled in those finance presentations, only to realize that that's just a reflection of what's still to come in the workplace. And for some of us, maybe we're leaving here today with more purposeful questions, which we'll be spending the next couple of years trying to answer. Now I know I talked a lot about the challenges, but as our Accounting 101 professor would put it, debits on the left equals credits on the right. There is a balance. And if there's anything else I've learned over the past 5 years here, is that we shouldn't allow those challenges to overshadow those assets in our lives, which are the things and experiences that provide our lives with meaning and texture. So for you, maybe that meant becoming an accounting, finance, or CS extraordinaire. Or for you, maybe it was those moments where you sat across the table from a friend, sipping coffee, discussing what mattered in your life. Or maybe, just maybe, it was attending, or at least attempting to attend, all the Bomber Wednesdays in undergrad. But this is what I see. I see the friends I made over the past 5 years and the crazy journey we went through to be here. I see that boy that I fell for in second year. I see my family who are sitting right over here, watch me grow up these past 22 years and see them grow alongside me. But that's just what I see. Look around you. Today, you begin a new journey. Find your balance, seek out challenges, overcome those challenges, turn those challenges into your assets. Make time for those who matter, invest in yourself. But for today, take time to appreciate and reflect on how far you've come and how much you've learned since that first Accounting 101 lecture. Now, before I leave you, there's just one last thing that I want to say. Water, water, water! Water, water, water! Thank you and congratulations, class of 2019.
Thank you very much, Jacqueline. And good evening once again. Mr. Chancellor, honored guests and participants, what a fantastic evening we're undertaking tonight, and it's going to get even better. Convocation is perhaps the most rewarding occasion in the life of a university. It evokes our ancient rights and privileges. It recognizes significant accomplishments, and at the same time stirs within us the promise of new beginnings. On behalf of the University of Waterloo administration team, I'd like to formally thank all of those who have made today possible. Convocation literally means the action of calling people together for a large informal assembly. So convocation is not possible, actually, without all of you. So to the graduands, And to your parents and family and friends, especially those of you who have traveled from afar to be here, thank you very much for making Convocation possible. To the university community for developing these scholars and delivering this outstanding event for our new alumni. Thank you to all of you for making this possible. And of course, we acknowledge those who have been unable to join us today. Each of us individually feels their presence as part of this special assembly, this convocation. I would like to now ask all of the graduands to remain seated as I invite all of the parents, family, friends, event coordinators, and other supporters of our graduands to please rise as you are able. And I would invite the graduands to look around and to find your special folks that are here to support you tonight and the other way around. You'll probably hear from some of them as you cross the stage, and you might as well know where they are. Graduates, would you please join me together in thanking all of those who have made your convocation so special? Thank you. Please be seated. As we prepare to confer the degrees, I have a few technical notes. For guests wishing to take photos of their graduates, there's a photography area located to the left of the stage right over here. You can access that area to take photos by using the exit at the back and at the west side, and then just coming forward down the hallway. Once you've taken your photos, I'd ask that you just please return to your seats to allow others to take photos of your special graduates. And graduates, you heard the Chancellor's order to please return to your seats after you receive your degrees so that we can continue to celebrate the convocation together as a group before the dismissal. Now we're on to the main event, proceeding to the conferring of the degrees, and to that end I invite Douglas Pierce, Dean of the Faculty of Arts, to announce the graduands' names.
Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Accounting and Financial Management Honors Program. Raza Syed Abbas, Shiri Agarwal, Wajiha Ahmed. Muneem Aband, Shirar Hassan, Muhammad Adnan Ajmal. Sabrina Sultana Alam, Jayoung An, Pavat Singh Arora. Karina Marie Avarila, Abanaya Balasubramanian, Muhammad Bakir. Devin Patrick Bartlett, Jonathan Basil, Michelle Beliavsky. Jaskaran Kaur Bhatia, Assis Kaur Bullar, Janish Hilji Bursma. Courtney Deanna Brown, Bruce Jeffrey Leonard Burns, Emily Jane Buss. Hanning Kai, Ting Kai, Christina Kai Wing Chan. Cindy Wen Ming Chan, Jarita Ming Yan Chan, Tiffany Hu Yan Chan. Hamza Yasin Chaudhry, Hong Jin Chen, Si Yun Chen. Si Wei Chen, Zhao Tong Chen, Shraddha Cherukuri. Ho Choi, Alvin Ciao, Matthew Allen Chimino. Annette Nadia Dabrowski, Danny Danielle, Parhi Reina David. Hansini Aranga de Silva, Avery J. DeLille, Joey Deng. Tanner Peter Derjigan, Jeremy Paul De Silva, Melita D'Souza. Haley Dawn Duplantis, Nirupan Elimurgagan, Esmat El Bacha. Anton Alyashevich, Chen Huang Fang, Felix Fang. Jason Ming Ho Fung, Long Ki Fung, Montana Fung. Chian Gai, Katya Ganam, Yun Jung Gyor. Ven Rafael Velarde Go, Rafael Edgardo Gonzalez, Henry Hang. Mohammed Hassan Hanif, Tiffany Amber Harriet, Zamil Hirani. Marion Ho, Michelle Hung Yan Ho, Venus G. K. Ho. Irene Huang, Jenny Huang, Win Huang. Harit Singh Hora, Christopher Lee Hong, Yuhi Hu. Annie Xiao Xing Huang, Brielle Huang, Kongji Huang. Cindy Lam Hum, Carrie Chow Huang, Sadie Ayao. Sharon Ruth Jacob, Abhishek Jain, Annie Xiaohan Jiang. Rachel Jiang, Tina Jin, Sophie Juan. Mutasir Kudus Kamal, Samantha Khan, Sampada Kashal. Ariba Javed Khan, Ariful Hassan Kawaja, Saeed Kimani. Sophie Karoth, Sonia Kundra, Jonathan Benjamin Kunihiro. Alice Wing Hang Kwok, Sohee Kwan, Esther Kam Ming Kwong. Billy Park Hay Lam, Jasper Kin Shun Lam, Shannon Yu Shan Lan. Christian Irvin Lau, Ryan Nicole Lapset, Dominic Yu Chung Lau. Barney Sum Yi Lee, Jasmine Yi Lum Lee, Nelson Chun Xing Lee. Nicholas Zhen Yao Lee, Sebastian Andrew Lee, Sojung Lee. Sylvia Lee, Chang Fan Lee, Elodie Lee. Jennifer Lee, Justin Sungyi Lee, Michelle Shui-King Lee. Ming Young Lee, Jianjia Lee, Xin Yi Lee. Xiang Li, also the recipient of the Faculty of Arts for Distinguished Academic Achievement Award in Accounting and Financial Management Studies. Anna Lin, Bing Xuan Liu, Jasmine Xia Wei Liu. Jeffrey Chie Ming Liu, Jing Yun Liu, Kenneth Liu. Mi Liu, Xin Yi Liu, Kevin Yi Shi Lo. Michelle Liu, Linda Lee Ma, Alexandra Gabriel McDonald. Joshua Mack, Ryan Mack, Majanpreet Kaur Mann. Nicholas Anthony Margite, Olga Anishka Mazur, Ali Mita. Megan Alice Rita Moser, Dania Mohammadi, Hannah Elizabeth Mukaladio. Kartik Nagarajan, Simran Nat, Lillian Sung Seung Ng. Wang Hong Wilton Ng, Karen Ngo, Jenna Nguyen Nguyen. Kim Khan Nguyen, Claudia Nika, Toyin Ablarinwa Olapade. Kevin Osei Ababio, Emishok Ami Oseni Alama, Simran Oshan. Ramandeep Singh Pabla, Harsh Sanjay Kumar Pandya, Puneet Singh Panasar. Subin Park, Anil Patel, Naharika Patel. Ronak Amrish Kumar Patel, Vedanta Patel, Vikas Patel. Andre Perez Villareno, Timur Petrov, Ria Simona Pinto. Amanda Devi Pokoy, Saran Prabharan, Anirudh Puri. Giritan Pushpalangam, Jingyu Chen, Fuyu Chu. Michelle Tuan, Brian Rajadurai, Arab Rajendram. Shobith Raju, Enrique Rafael Ramoso, Navneet Kaur Rangi. Julian Rossi, Austin Asaya Roth, Christopher John Rolls. Sahana Rutirakantan, Orpa Saha, Uday Bir Singh Sandhu. Rabani Sani, Jonathan Palat Siha, Monica Shrava Simakirti. Haseen Salim, Omar Shabir, Alexandra Yasmin Yue Shar. Bailey Shi, Tao Shi, Amelia Hope Joanne Simpson. Su Fu Sin, Sarjini Sivanesan, Victoria Keiki So. Luxina Shribakaskaran, Jeremy Joseph Stimson, Ashley Miriam Stube. Danlin Su, Ram Subaya, Jacqueline Audrey Su. Ai Wei Sun, Eric Ming Sun, Kayin Yin Sun. Hera Wing Hin Tay, Michelle Tan, Kevin Tang. Yishuan Tang, Catherine Chang, Rakshna Tirumaruka. Truk Claire Tran Dwyer, Flora Ka Wing Tseng, Raminder Singh Uppal. Carol Marie Valerio Pena, Alexander Geza Ignacio Veg, Lillian Verbarg. Neela Villason, Aman Wada, Linda Wang. Jia Xin Xin Wei, Wei Ling Wen, Christopher Matthew Wong. Michael William Wong, Dennison Z. Chiang Wu, Yixian Wendy Wu. Zi Qian Wu, Benjamin Xu, Wendy Zhang Xu. Mia Yang, also the recipient of the University of Waterloo Alumni Gold Medal for Recognition of Academic Achievement Award. Sharon Win Yan Yang, Donovan Yu, Mingkai Xingkai Zheng. Dennis Xixiao Zhang, Linda Zhang, Xiao Zhang. Shushan Zhang, Yuan Zhang, Lillian Yangling Zhao. Andy Wu Zhang, Siqi Zhang. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Computing and Financial Management. Nicholas Ashkarian, Zhongxian Ao, Aurora. Leslie Ann Ashmead, Saksham Bhatnagar, Ming Chen. Yu Ming Chen, Martin Chu, Colin Joseph Fagan. Kiran Lee, Minglu Lee, Shiyu Liao. Rong Zhao Li, also the recipient of the Faculty of Arts for Distinguished Academic Achievement Award in Computing and Financial Management. Jihao Liu, Calvin Chuk Nam Lui, Jihan Wang. Song Hao Wu, Ji Hao Zhou. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. I now invite Deborah Kraft, Director, Master of Taxation Program, School of Accounting and Finance, to the podium.
Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Master of Taxation. Gurbinder Singh Badwal, Jingyu Che, Quinn Gu, Quan Hong Hung, Daniel Noah Leo, Dan Yan Lin. Kaimudin Ogir, Zhang Ren, Sarah Tulsma Araki. Calvin Richard Tan, Johnson Tu, Tatiana Zhu. Ziwei Wang, Han Yan, Tanjia Zhang. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. We will now confer the degree Doctor of Philosophy, the highest degree awarded by universities. Attaining a PhD is no easy task. It involves years of hard work, attainment of subject matter expertise, and a contribution to the sum of human knowledge in a subject area through original research. It is an honor to call upon the following graduands to receive the degree Doctor of Philosophy. Khalib Yasnu Mamo, Accounting. Greg Richens, Accounting. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor. Mr. Chancellor, I now request you to confer in absentia the various and several degrees upon those candidates who were approved by the Senate but who were unable to present at today's convocation.
I confer the degrees in absentia.
I now invite Ferdinand Hundepar, President and Vice-Chancellor, to the podium.
One more piece of business first. The Distinguished Teacher Award was established by the Senate of the University to recognize individuals with a continued record of excellence in teaching at Waterloo. Recipients must be nominated by their students and are selected by a committee consisting of undergraduate students and graduate students, alumni, and faculty. Mr. Chancellor, I present Stephen Balaban. In addition to his dedicated role as a die-hard Toronto Raptors fan, Stephen Balaban is a lecturer in the School of Accounting and Finance, has received many praises from not only his students and his fellow colleagues in the Faculty of Arts, but also from his colleagues in other faculties. Balaban has influenced the careers of several of his students and continues to be a mentor to them long after their graduations. His peers admire the effort he has made to incorporate new and interactive learning techniques into his lesson plans, such as problem-based learning and experiential learning. His students also really appreciate his efforts. As one student noted, his lectures never felt like lectures, but rather interactive discussions. Balaban shows genuine interest in seeing his students succeed, and many have commented on the integral role he has played in their professional and academic success. His lessons are known to emphasize the importance of personal development, teamwork, communication, and relationship building. Balaban has been described as passionate, engaging, and humble. Additionally, it is noted that his most admirable quality is his constant desire to improve his teaching abilities and the learning environment. Mr. Chancellor, in recognition of his outstanding achievement in teaching, I ask you to present the Distinguished Teaching Award to Stephen Balaban. I now invite Allison Boyd, Director, Alumni Relations, to present the Alumni Gold Medal.
Mr. Chancellor, members of Convocation, honored guests. As the Director of Alumni Relations, as well as a fellow alumnus from the University of Waterloo, it is my pleasure to join you today in celebrating our newest alumni. With each graduating class, we honor extraordinary students whose achievements exceed even our highest expectations. One undergraduate student from each faculty receives an Alumni Gold Medal, which symbolizes not only the student's accomplishments, but also the proud tradition of exploration and leadership to which all of our alumni belong. Graduates, while many of you will embark on new journeys, I encourage you to foster the relationship that you have built with this remarkable university. Waterloo offers many resources to help you achieve your goals. Whether you want to advance your career, explore new ideas, or tackle a complex problem, the university can support you in your endeavors. Take advantage of the services available to you and stay connected to Waterloo's proud alumni who live all over the world. This network is a powerful resource. I speak from experience when I say that getting involved will enrich your life. On behalf of my fellow graduates, allow me to welcome you to our alumni community. Mr. Chancellor, I'm honored to present to you the 2019 recipient of the Alumni Gold Medal for Outstanding Academic Performance in an Undergraduate Program, who has just received a Bachelor of Accounting and Financial Management honors from the Faculty of Arts, Mia Yang. I now invite Paradin Hamdullah, President and Vice-Chancellor, to the podium.
Class of 2019 Faculty of Arts, you look absolutely fabulous. Now you are graduates, and I can't tell you how proud of you we are. But Jacqueline, I should also tell you, where are you sitting, Jacqueline? Wave at me. You're absolutely right. The geese are here to stay. We accepted that. That's why we embarked upon a very ambitious project. We're going to toilet train them. So when you come back, you won't have to watch your steps anymore, hopefully. But let me tell you why we're so proud of you. Some of you will recall when you started here a few years back, we had a conversation, probably at your orientation. I told you that we're so proud that you made a decision, a very important decision in your life, that you were going to go to a university. And secondly, you decided to go to the University of Waterloo. You could have gone to many places. Given your accomplishments, you decided to come here. And when you came here, we told you that we were so proud to have you here, but also you were up for a challenge. That you will be studying at not one of the best, in my unbiased opinion, the best university in the whole universe. You were going to be taught by the best professors, but you were going to be challenged. It was not going to be an easy ride. And we wanted your promise, the promise that you will meet us here at your convocation. We are so proud, and we are thankful that you kept your promise. That's absolutely wonderful. And parents, supporters of our students, friends, siblings, brothers, sisters, thank you so much for being here this evening, and thank you so much for supporting them throughout their studies here. You have been with them through thick and thin, and also for some of them, thank you for paying their tuition. We appreciate it. And I'm also grateful to your professors and staff, the faculty, that I don't think that without their dedication, passion in you, in what you learn, what you're going to do, that many of you will be here. So we owe them a great debt of gratitude. Thank you. We heard from our Chancellor what's happening in this world. We heard about how the power will shift, how new technologies will come in, some of the things that we never ever thought of, and they are now part of our life. They're real. And when I look into the future, I have only one answer to all of these challenges and also fantastic opportunities. The answers are sitting right there where you are. As I had the pleasure of talking to so many of you, I heard about some fantastic things you will be doing. I'm envious, especially those who will be going to Bermuda. But you will be doing some amazing things, and some of you love taxation. That's also fantastic. I'm serious. This is a world that is going through unbelievable transformation, but as I'm looking at you, you have gone through this transformation already. If I may say so, you are different from when you started here. Not just about what you know, but what you know about the world and how you understand it. Like you, the University of Waterloo has many, many ambitious, bold goals. In 1957, we started with 74 students. Today, we're so proud that you'll be joining a family of 210,000 strong Waterloo, University of Waterloo alumni. We have no more advice for you. On the contrary, we need your advice. We need your guidance. We need your engagement. As the university also will be facing a very different world, as we will be taking that responsibility and challenge that, yes, we will rise up to those challenges. And we will need you help us through that. Again, as our Chancellor mentioned, there's this imbalance. We will have more people over age 65 and fewer people under 14. Please maintain your work-life balance. Enjoy it and help us with that under 14-year population. Many of you learned how to do this here while studying at the University of Waterloo. While you did absolutely fantastically well, you also looked after yourself. I thank you for spending the last 4, 5, and for our PhD students, probably a little bit longer than that, or your time here. Thank you so much. We learned a lot from you. We grew together stronger. Thank you very much. Graduates, colleagues, guests, I have one more task to perform. This is a difficult one. I want to thank Dean Douglas Pierce. Doug, would you stand up, please? This is the very last convocation ceremony for Dean Pierce as Dean of the Faculty of Arts, as he is completing his 8 fantastic years of deanship. The faculty and the university, we are grateful for his passion, for his dedication, or for his fantastic role. Thank you very much, Dan. With that, Mr. Chancellor, I'll turn it over to you.
Convocation is adjourned. Congratulations.